Happy Friday, everybody. How's it going? All right, let me see. Now, okay. I am asked on a regular basis, do I wax this? If I waxed it in this, what is it going to look like? What if I want a metallic finish? What if I want to be able to glaze it? How is it going to look different? And so what I decided to do today, as promised, not to show you, yes, I am going to show you a new finish, but not to show you as much a specialty finish. No, I am showing you a specialty finish. Okay, back up. I'm going to show you how waxes can totally change a finish. And a lot of people don't really understand the whole waxing process, and I'm going to tell you. So if you've never tuned in before, my name is Amy Howard, and I am the mother maker with Amy Howard at Home and a maker studio. So I am really kind of excited to show you several of the finishes here. I think your jaw's gonna drop. You're gonna go, what? I had no idea. For example, let me show you this. This is a plain black sample. I have done all these finishes just on black. Hey, Becky, I've done them just on black. Now, look at this finish. What do you think? Guess what? How was this created? This was a glaze that I'm getting ready to show you, done on top of black with cerusing wax over it. So when we talk about how waxes can change a finish, a lot of people are like, well, I want the wax and the sealant all mixed in one. You're missing the point. It's not about the wax necessarily sealing it, which it does. The wax is to be able to create a patina on a piece that looks like this. Do you love this? This is more of a polychrome finish. Look at this. I think it's to die for. It's a polychrome finish. This is a very easy finish to be able to get, and I'm going to show you how to create this today from just a simple black one-step color. Now here's something else. This is something else that I want you to really remember. People will ask me, can I do this over acrylic paint? The answer is no. I prefer you not to. Part of the reason for the one step and being able to get looks like this is the fact that it has a beautiful matte finish. It also has calcium carbonate in it. So it allows the pigmentation of the waxes to be able to go down into the body of the paint and become part of the finish. So it will harden over a period of time. It will look even more beautiful, and you're gonna love it that much more. Now let me show you something else. There again, all these finishes were done just by painting them with black one step. Are you ready for this? Look at, you're just gonna love it. I'm gonna show you the difference in just a second, but I'm having fun. All right, look at this. Look at the difference. This is done with just wax and just the black one step. Look at this. This is done with just black and silver wax. Is that fab? Now, I just took plain black one step. What did I add? This is copper wax. If you mix the copper wax with Dust of Ages afterwards, it looks like bronze. So if you want a bronze finish, here you go. It doesn't look like garish copper. It's a beautiful patina. Now, if we want to just have black and add cerusing wax, a lot of you are like, what would it look like? It's divine. Look at this. Look at this finish. This is black with just cerusing wax on top of it. Is everybody with me? Is everybody with me? I'm going to show you these. But look at the difference. This is just cerusing wax. Hey, Marilyn from St. Louis, how are you? Thanks for watching today. Now, if you want to be able to just have clear wax, people will ask me, what does clear wax, Amy, look like just on top of one step? Now, the one step has a very dead flat matte finish to it. If I just add clear wax and I buff it, look at the difference. Now, does it seal it? Yes. but it's about having a patina, guys. P-A-T-I-N-A, patina. This is more of a cabinet finish. Look at that, isn't that divine? So here's your one step, just plain matte, and then here it is with just clear wax over it. Now, let's look at this. The light antique wax. People will say, does the light antique wax look different than the clear wax? Here is the plain one-step paint, and here is just light antique wax. You can very slightly tell the difference. Look at this. Here's clear wax. Here's light antique. Look. It does make the black feel a little richer to me. So my vote is for light antique wax. If you are working on lighter colors like Bauhaus Buff or Atelier or Luxe Gray, you may want to go with a clear. But I love the light antique wax. I'm going to turn this over in just a minute, I promise. All right, so now, and then last but definitely not least, this is light wax, a little bit of dark wax, and dust of ages. The dust of ages gets down in the crevices and it makes it look absolutely amazing. It brings detail to it and it can make a lot of difference in your finish. Now, so let's turn this down. I want to be able to show you now. Let's walk you through how to be able to create these finishes. Let's turn this down. And I want you to be able to see them kind of laid out. Hopefully that will help. All right, so I'm just going to tell you, this is one of my favorites. So I'm going to save this till last because I want to be able to show you how to create it. I think it's divine. Michelle and I were in here talking and we were like, yeah, this is fabulous. That is a fabulous finish and it's so easy peasy, easy to do. All right, so I'm going to set this down here and I'm going to show you. So here was our sample done with light wax and dust. See the difference? Now, let me show you how to be able to create that. I'm just going to take some of my light antique wax and a brush. I'm going to use a chip brush. I usually tell you, use a different chip brush for every wax and offload it just a little bit. So it has carnauba and beeswax. Carnauba is going to continue to harden. The beeswax gives you that yummy color. So I'm going to put that over here. So you'll take just a plain one-step application with your black paint, your black one-step, and you're going to apply it over the entire sample like this with your brush. You can blend it. And I want to allow this to dry for about 30 minutes. Now, can it dry overnight before you buff it? Absolutely it can. And when it dries and I buff it, this is what it's going to look like. So it goes from just a plain, flat, matte finish to this gorgeous, beautiful patina. That's just with light wax, light antique wax. All right, so now look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? Guess what this is? Now, here we are. Here's our black one-step, and then all this is our gold embellishing wax on top of it. That's it. Now, let's go over as far as how to apply it. Here's my gold embellishing wax. I have a brush over here. I'm going to take my chip brush and put it into my gold embellishing wax. And I'm going to come on top of my black one-step. And you want to just go over the whole thing. It's better to use a little bit more and then rub it off. You don't want to use it, you don't want to leave it too terribly thick. But usually I will do more of 100% coverage. Now, this is where a lot of people will see it. I got to look at for you for just a minute. Okay. This is where a lot of people will leave it. I'm sorry, but that's garish. Like that's the rub and bub or bub and whatever. What was it called? Buff and rub? I don't know. This is not the look that I want you to go for. Look at the subtlety. This is what I want you to go for. Is everybody with me? Look at this. So we are going from black to this to this. Now, what's the difference? I want you to be able to see the stages. This is just with the gold embellishing wax. Black one step, gold embellishing wax, and then guess what made the difference on this last one? I added dust of ages. I want you to allow the gold embellishing wax to dry. Give it about 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes, and then add the dust of ages and buff it. Buff it with a little bit of steel wool, 4/0 steel wool, and then buff with a rag. Now, let me show you what I'm talking about. Are y'all loving this? Tell me. Send me some love. Say, Amy, yes, we love this. We want to really be able to understand the waxes and how this can make a huge difference. Now, here's the deal. Sharing is caring. Guess what I'm going to do? If you watch this video, today is Friday around 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. If you watch this video Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I am going to go through and I'm going to look at everyone that shared this video Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I am going to send the winner, I'm going to draw one name out. And if you shared this video, I am going to send you cerusing wax, clear wax, light antique wax, silver wax, mica powders, copper wax, and gold wax. All you have to do is share this video. And I'm going to send you every one of the waxes that I'm working with today. Now, because sharing is caring. All right. So welcome, everybody. If you're watching for the first time, I am Amy Howard. I'm your mother maker with Amy Howard at Home. And I love teaching you. We're going over everything about waxes today. And not that people just get this thing about wax. It's like, I don't want to have to wax. Guys, the whole point of the wax is to be able to create a patina. It's the patina. You can do waxes instead of glazes if you don't want to do a glaze. It's not necessary. The wax is going to harden. So let's just go over this again because I want to show you. Here's my black one step. Here's my gold embellishing wax. And then we are going to add the dust of ages and it's going to make it into this gorgeous bronze. All right. So hold on just a second. I'm going to turn this down. Now, here's the dust of ages. It's great for a lot of things. It's great for waxes because waxes love it. It gets down into, embeds into the wax itself. It will totally change the color of it. And if you, let's say you don't even have a carved surface. If you have a smoother surface, it's still fabulous because it embeds and it gets down into the wax itself. All right, so let's add a little bit of wax. I need to move this out of the way just a little bit, don't I? Hey, Connie, how's it going? All right, let's turn this down. So here's the one that I want to be able to get to. You see the difference. It's too bright and too garish. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to get over my table. I don't want to get the dust everywhere. So I've added the dust. I'm going to take a lint-free rag. Now, okay, I better come over here so you can see it. Look at this. Look at this. Do you see what a difference it made? The gold embellishing wax, guys, with the dust of ages over it, totally changes the entire look. Isn't that fab? Do you love it? Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. It's much more subtle. If you want to be able to come through, too, with just a little bit of, that way I can put these together. Now, see, it matches. The gold without the dust of ages, guys, is garish. I don't want you doing that. I want you to bring it down and I want you to make it more subtle because that way we're going to go from this to this. Is everybody with me? Gold embellishing wax by itself is too garish. You've got to add the dust of ages to it and buff it. And it gets down in there and it softens it and it makes it so much more beautiful. So much more beautiful. Okay, let's go to our next one. You're going to love this. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. All right. We're in waxing school. I'm going to move those over. Now, look at this. Guess what this is? It's the same thing that we just did, but it is with silver. So here's our silver embellishing wax. Let's look at it with the black. Black one step, silver embellishing wax. But guys, here's the deal. If you put the silver embellishing wax on by itself without adding the dust of ages, what's going to happen? It's going to look garish. And when I see people online, when I see it on Pinterest, when I see it everywhere, and I'm like, You've got to make it more subtle because we want to be able to make sure that it's a finish that looks like it's got some age to it, that it wasn't done yesterday in a Chinese factory. Do you know what I'm saying? Are you hearing me? Okay, we want to tone it down. So anytime you're going to be using the gold, the copper, or the silver embellishing wax, apply it, allow it to dry about 15 or 20 minutes, then we want to be able to come back, add the dust of ages, and then buff it off, steel wool it a little bit, and it will look amazing. All right, so now let's do silver. You ready? Sorry, I didn't mean to, I used the word garish, I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend anybody. Okay, all right, so look at here. I'm gonna push this out of the way so that way you're able to see it. Let's focus on this. So here's the black. I'm gonna move all these out of the way. Here's the before, here's the after. What did we use? We used silver embellishing wax and dust of ages. So let's do the finish. I'm gonna grab a brush. You'll notice, what am I doing? I've got a different brush for every wax. You do not need to mix these. And what do you clean your brushes out with? Clean slate. Clean slate will work. Clean slate is not mineral spirits, guys, but it will remove wax, so it will clean it out of your brushes too. Are you ready? So now this is my silver embellishing wax. I'm just putting it on top of my black one step. You ready? Watch this. Guys, tell me where you're tuning in from. Ask me questions. I will go back and answer your questions later, but send me some love. Tell me where you're tuning in from and share this video. I don't know if you heard, you want to do hashtag replay. If you share this video, your name is going to go in for a drawing. I'm going to put together a packet to where I'm going to send you every single wax I'm going over today to the lucky winner that we're going to draw on Monday. So all day Friday, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday. All right, now, let me show you. Here's the difference. I just applied the wax. This is what it looks like. But see how much more set back this is? I need to allow this to come to tack about 20 minutes. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to add my dust of ages. Like this. I usually will just take a brush and go over the whole thing like this. And then I'll buff it with the dust on it. Yes, I'm inhaling this. I need a mask on. Do you see the difference? That gives me that gorgeous, subtle, silver finish that is to die for. And all I did was my silver embellishing wax and my dust of ages. Now, let's look at copper. This is copper. Here's the before, just a black one step with copper embellishing wax, but I did the same thing again. Here's the copper embellishing wax. I put it on, it will look garish, just like the silver and the gold. Allow it to dry about 15 or 20 minutes, and then put the dust of ages on, buff it, and it's gonna look like this. This looks like a bronze finish. It's fabulous. It almost looks like metal. It really could, depending on what piece you put it on. All right, now, I'm gonna lay these out at the end. Now look at this. Guess what this is? Wish some of my students were watching on here, and that way you could tell everybody. This is cerusing wax. So here's your black one step. All this is cerusing wax. So if you're not familiar with my cerusing wax, it's one of the most popular waxes that we have. It comes in a squeezable bottle. It has calcium carbonate in it. And it allows you to be able to get these gorgeous, gorgeous finishes with just an easy application. Now, here's the difference than what I was doing a while ago. You're just going to apply the cerusing wax. I'm going to show you. But I did not use dust of ages on this. You can use dust of ages over the cerusing wax, and I like the way it looks. So So I'm gonna add just a little bit of the cerusing wax on this cardboard, and I'm gonna load up my brush. That's our office dog, Theo. Thank you, Theo. Theo wanted everybody to say hi to him. I'm gonna offload just a little bit on this side. All right, so now I've got it evenly distributed throughout my brush. And now, here's the finish that I'm going for. It's my cerusing wax on top of black one step. Now, here's what's scary to people. Look how scary that is when you start putting it on. It sure doesn't look like this, does it? So people put it on and they're like, oh my gosh, that's so garish. I don't like that. It will not look like this. So when you start putting it on, what you've got to make sure of is that you are laying out your application, that you're getting it on evenly enough, that it's getting evenly distributed. So that way, once it dries down, once it starts to dry down, and you're going to burnish it with some steel wool, and you're going to buff it with a dry rag, then that's when it's going to come to life. Do not judge it at any point, because here's what a lot of people do. They'll even put it on like this, and they'll go, I don't like that, Amy. I don't like that. I don't either, but that's not the look we're going for. What's the look that we're going for? This is the look we're going for. This is our desired result. So you've got, let's talk about, here's the steps again. So we've got plain one step in the black. We just applied the cerusing wax. And then after we allow this to dry and we buff it, we leave enough in the crevices. The pigmentation of the wax is going to go down into and embed itself into the one step, and it's going to make it look amazing. Is everybody with me? So now, already, I'm going to take just a little bit of steel wool. And when I say a little bit, I'm just looking at, this is pretty sad, isn't it? Now look at this. I want you to pull it back so I can see that black underneath there. Now somebody's car is going off outside. I'm going to pull that back. And here's the other interesting thing. It's still just a dead flat finish. But guess what? This is why it's a wax. We can come back with a lint-free rag and I can buff it up. Let's look at the difference again. See how this is flat, matte? Look at the sheen on this in the patina. Isn't that beautiful? Now, so what we need to do is we're going to take a lint-free rag and we're going to buff this up. And that's what's going to allow it to start to have this gorgeous patina that sets it back and looks like this. Now, now, not to take up a whole lot of your time, I want to be able to show you how to create this finish. Are y'all loving these waxes? All right, so this one is still kind of a waxing technique, but I thought a lot of people ask about glazes. Amy, how do I do a glaze? What is that going to look like? Let me show you. So I'm going to take, if you can believe it or not, I think one thing is a takeaway for you guys today. It's going to be the fact that you don't leave things in their garish state. It's all about folding it back. It's all about making it look more subtle and soft and like it has a patina and a history. So I'm going to mix up glazed over, water, and mica powders. Now, this glazed over is a great product just to have in your DIY pantry. I use it for tons of things. I've showed you the last couple of Fridays. So I'm putting in 1 part glazing liquid. These are our new mica powders. This is Pearl. You're gonna love this. Look at this. This is Pearl. I'm gonna take another spoon. I don't wanna dip my spoon that I did in my glazing liquid. So I'm gonna take a spoon of my mica powder. And this is in Pearl. So that way you can see that. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of water. And I'm gonna stir it up. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Is this the yummiest stuff you've ever seen? Hey guys, as you pop on, tell me where you're coming in from. And be sure and do hashtag replay. You can go back to the beginning of the video. I'm gonna be giving away, if you share this video, I'm gonna be giving away every one of these waxes to the lucky person that we're gonna draw their name on Monday. So all weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, if you watch this, your name will still go in for the drawing. Now look at this. Look at this. Is this yummy? Are y'all ready for this? Now watch. You're going, what is she doing? This is like, she's being an alchemist. All right. This is like chemistry class / wax class. All right, so now I'm going to apply this with a brush. So pretty. Look at this. Now, there again, look at this. I just have to show you this. Is that fab? Now, this is garish. When you brush this on, this is like, it's, oh my gosh, it's so fab. It looks gold. It looks pearl. It looks like I am brushing on metal, literally. It looks like I am brushing on metal. But the cool thing about it is all these finishes that I'm showing you today, I am doing on top of the black one step. It just shows you the versatility that you can have with all of these waxes. Now, I'm gonna model this just a little bit. Now, I do need this to dry. Look at this. I'm gonna come back. Look at that. So fab. So fab. I can look at the coloring of it. Is that blowing your mind? Guys, all this is pearl mica powders on top of the black. Now, hold on. I've got to dry this. I've got to dry this because you've got to see it. Hold on. Hold on. 2 seconds. I'm going to dry it. Hang with me. Play music, somebody. Hold on. No. Okay, maybe I'm not. My hairdryer was not connected. All right, so we're gonna go with this. Now, so let's go back over it again. I did black one step. What did I do? All I did was I made a glaze with mica powder, water, and glazing liquid. I brushed it on to this. Now, look what it looks like. Now what am I gonna do? Can you imagine? What am I gonna do? Guys, look. What am I gonna do to get this look? This is the look that I'm going for. While this is cool, it's too garish for me personally. What am I gonna do to get this look? It's called a polychrome finish that you would see on an antique piece. It's absolutely to die for. I'm gonna set this back with none other than, ta-da, cerusing wax. So I'm gonna take my cerusing wax again. I'm hoping you're seeing it's like, there's a lot of versatility to this. This is why Amy made the one-step paint, to be able to have a matte finish. It is not a glorified acrylic paint. It is a calcium carbonate based paint that allows me to be able to get the looks of the finishes that I have done in a bodega in Florence, Italy for many, many years. I've been doing this a long time. So now look at this. I'm gonna come back on top of this that I made the mica glaze with none other than my cerusing wax. And what this does, it sets it back down. There again, don't judge it at this point. We've gotta let it sit back. We've gotta allow it to dry. We're gonna add our dust of ages, and that's when it comes to life. We're so bad about judging. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't like this. And it's like, give it a chance. You've got to allow to be able to get it everywhere, allow it to come to tack, and then after I let this dry 15 to 20 minutes, what am I going to do? I add the dust of ages, and I buff it and it looks like this. Isn't that fab? See how easy that is, guys? So let's look at the before and after again. Before, would you ever have imagined? After, look at that. So as you start to see finishes, I want you to start learning how to be able to dissect them. This one would be difficult to dissect, I'll be honest with you, because of what I'm showing you and how you can use the mica powders, how you make it glaze, how you wipe it off, and all you do is put the wax on top of it. It's so easy, it's so fast, and it looks like $1,000,000. And it all started with just using the one-step paint, and you can go over it. So I want to line all these up for just a second, and we're going to finish our finale. All these guys, they want to show themselves off. Nobody wants to be able to have more importance than anybody else. So here we start with just our black one step. Let me turn this down. Here's our black one step. Here is our black one step with just clear wax. Here is our black one step with our mica powder glaze and cerusing wax. Here is our black one step with what? Gold embellishing wax and dust of ages. Let's move these guys down. Here is, oh, love him, love, love, love him. This is just cerusing wax. So we're going to put him right next to this guy. So that way you know I used cerusing wax on both of them. Here's my gold. Now, look at this. This is silver. This is silver wax with dust of ages. Is he not yummy? So we're going to put this down here so that way you see I did it with silver. We'll move the train on down so that way you can see it. Then, this was done, this is kind of a bronze color. This was done with our copper wax and our dust of ages. So look at that. Is that crazy? The versatility that you can get with just a lot of different waxes can make the difference, the major difference in what your pieces are going to look like. It's not about the wax necessarily to seal it. It's about the ability to be able to have a beautiful, beautiful patina. So I want you to experiment and be able to see just how glorious all of these finishes can be with just a little bit of wax. I hope this helps you be able to see the difference. Don't judge it at any one stage. Allow yourself to be able to experiment and not get real nervous when you've just put it on, but then allow it to dry, allow it to come to tack, T-A-C-K. You do not want to put the wax on before it's come to tack. The tack, it's still cool, but it's not greasy, and it's dried for about 20 minutes. If you put the dust of ages on before it's come to tack, it'll go black, and we want it to stay that glorious light gray color. So hopefully, look at this. It's just yummy. It's just a great way to be able to use a simple product like the Black One Step and add your waxes and maybe have fun and step outside of the box and use the mica powder. It's so much fun. Guys, have a fabulous weekend. I'm just enjoying slowing down, enjoying our home, enjoying our family and friends, enjoying rescuing and restoring furniture, knowing that we don't have to spend a lot of money to have beautiful things and beautiful finishes. And who knows, you might love it so much and find that it's your passion that you can make this a business. It can be, I promise. Have a great weekend. See you at the estate sales. Bye-bye.